Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the Book It community and around the world. We got another episode of the morning after. Josh is in the stew, and I want the names and numbers of every employee in the committee of the NCAA Bracketology Center, whatever the fuck it's called. Because there is just no way, there's no way that in the conference that has a 1 seed, a 2 seed, and a 3 seed, that has the former NCAA champion, are we only giving 3 bids to? But we're handing out bids to teams like Texas and TCU who've done nothing impressive all year.
Yeah, that is true.
Nothing impressive. And what I consider a relatively fraudulent conference now that Kansas is banged up. And outside of Houston, who really is competing? Iowa State, maybe. You're telling me that you're leaving out Seton Hall, St. John's, and Providence?
Texas Tech could be a sneaky team, I think.
Texas Tech could be a sneaky
They're
team.
healthy now.
TCU, Texas, Virginia getting bids is
Texas
absurd.
Crazy, yeah.
So is University of Virginia.
Yeah.
That team is moose shit.
Well, I guess they're the first or last 4 in, right?
Yeah.
Or last 8.
We should have been last 4 in.
Yeah.
Either way, Virginia is playing in March Madness. What has that team done this year?
Yeah, nothing. And Mizzou did get snubbed.
Yeah, I mean, the Mizzou snub, we're not even going to get into it, but I mean, how do you not let that team in?
No, yeah, I don't know.
Seton Hall, 5 wins over 500.
They should have been in.
Not in the tournament.
And they beat UConn.
You gave the Big East 3 1 seeds in the NIT. How the fuck does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, how does that make sense?
I don't know.
How does that make sense? How does that make sense? Give me a break, dude. Like, actually give me a break. I've had enough. Even Michigan State. What are they doing in there over a team like Seton Hall?
Northwestern.
Like, what? What? Are you kidding me right now? Like, are you actually kidding me?
Yeah, there's a bunch of teams that probably didn't deserve
And I mean, I could sit up here all day and talk about the teams that deserve to be in that didn't make it in. But I've officially hung in my apartment the 2024 men's national championship banner for the Providence College Friars. Because if we made it, we won it. Yeah. If we made it, we win it. If we made it, we win it. I almost want to make merch. If we made it, we win it. 2024 men's national champions, Providence College Friars. If we made it, we win it. And you can't tell me any different.
It's like UCF back in the day when they went undefeated, didn't make the final or didn't make the college football championship or whatever.
Yeah, you can't tell me otherwise.
You're a national champion.
I'm a national champion. The Providence College Friars are a national champion. Like, genuinely, we are a national champion. Texas and TCU, that blew my mind. Virginia, Michigan State blew my fucking mind.
Indiana State not getting in was insane.
That should be a crime.
That's insane.
That should be a crime.
It should be.
Like,
they just robbed the entire country
of that kid.
Of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Of Kareem Abdul. Like, actually, though.
They did.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
He would have been the story of the tournament. They win one game, he's the story of the tournament.
Even if they compete in one game, story of the tournament. Also, the Mountain West getting an absurd amount of disrespect for their seeding. By the way, I don't know if you paid attention to where they got seeded, but those teams are incredible.
Wait, say it again.
They got 8 and 11 seeds.
Say that again.
The Mountain West.
Oh,
just got no respect from the committee. And they're going to bust some brackets up. They're going to bust some brackets up.
Boise snuck in. They're playing Colorado in the first.
Also, Colorado.
Yeah.
Colorado made it.
Yeah.
Colorado made it. And I saw a conspiracy, not going to say from who, Jack Mack from Barstool, and I agree with him. If you look at the conferences that don't have ESPN deals, they got the lowest amount of bids. Big East and Fox Sports, and I think it was the Big Ten with CBS. Or not Big Ten. Who's CBS?
I think the Big Ten is CBS.
It might be the Big Ten. No, someone else is CBS.
The Mountain West is CBS, I think.
Might be the Mountain West then.
They definitely are CBS. I know that they are for football. SEC's ESPN.
Yeah,
they have the most. Yeah,
yeah. I think I forget who is I
Big Ten.
I can go look at the tweet. I think it was maybe the Big Ten was CBS, and Providence and Big East was Fox Sports. We only got 3 bids.
Also, Jack, can we wish Goots a happy birthday?
Oh, it's Goots' birthday.
It is.
All right, let's go. Happy birthday, Goots. Happy birthday, Gootsy. One of our Book It fam. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Josh, do you have your national champion yet? I'm not going to reveal mine.
I do.
So I have your national champion.
I went through last night. Like, every single time the bracket comes out, like, you have to just go through and do your gut check bracket. Like, just go through, click as fast as you can.
Yeah.
I got down to Houston. That's who I got down to. Them against, I don't know how this other team made it in there, but St. Mary's.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have them losing in the first round of my bracket.
Yeah. See, I mean, I'm not like obviously like committed to that finals matchup, but that was just my gut check. Just running through it real quick.
And we're going to do a gut check bracket for the morning after. We're going to do a gut check bracket in a little bit. I also have 4 best bets for the first round of the tournament loaded up for you guys that are listening now. I also want to go through my sleepers of the NCAA tournament really quick, if I can go through.
Yeah.
And I kind of want your opinion on every single one.
Okay.
You're going to want to watch out for these You're going to want to watch out for these teams in the NCAA tournament this year. First, Duquesne. Okay? The names are Day-Day Grant and Jimmy Clark. They're going to be one of the most dynamic and hard to stop backcourts in all of March. But if you can stop them, you've stopped the whole team. They're going to cause problems for any team that they play. I forget who their first round matchup is. BYU.
Honestly,
And if
I
that
love their first round.
If that BYU team isn't clipping from 3,
Yeah,
this Duquesne team will run them out of the gym.
that is true. The one thing that scares me about them is you see the confetti.
I did see the confetti.
That's the only thing.
That is scary.
But yeah, I do think they win that first game. And then honestly, they play winner of Illinois Morehead State. Like
They could
I
also
think
get freaky there.
Illinois is a beatable team. I mean, Terrence Shannon's a dog, but if he's not going, like they're definitely beatable.
What he did against Nebraska this weekend was disgusting.
I mean, he's gross.
40 points?
Yeah, he's gross.
That's disgusting. But Duquesne, watch out for him. The other one is Michigan State. It's Tom Izzo in March. Like if you want to forget about it, you can forget about it. As much as I don't think they deserve to be here, it's Tom Izzo in March. You can't discount this team. You can't.
Do you like them just in their first matchup?
I do.
Okay, yeah.
I do like them in there.
Because then they got to play UNC. They could beat UNC too.
Dude.
I think that either one of those teams, I think Mississippi State or Michigan State can give UNC a good game.
100%. I just like them against Mississippi State for the sole reason that it's Tom Izzo in March. I think both those teams are basically identical.
They're like the same
Hubbard
team.
and Walker, Huggard and whatever, Tolu Smith. Like they're basically just the same team.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to trust Tom Izzo in March.
Okay. Fair enough. I got Mississippi State winning that game.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm also an SEC guy, so.
Oh, you are an SEC guy. Okay. New Mexico. The Mountain West has gotten 0, and I mean 0 respect by the committee. And I would be careful in their first round matchup how well they're playing right now. They are one of the hottest teams in the country right now, and they can pretty much match up and run any team out of the gym this year.
And they're playing one of the most fraudulent teams in the entire country, Clemson.
Say their name.
Yeah.
Say their name. Like, I really don't think Clemson stands a chance against the way this New Mexico team is playing right now.
They're favored too. New Mexico is.
I know, and as they should be, as an 11 seed, correct? As
an
11 seed. The fact that Clemson got in as high as they did is also absurd. Like, that team is not a 6 seed, right? No. I mean, I would be very careful with how this New Mexico team is playing with the people that are just going to click the team that has the higher number next to it or the lower number next to it. Be very careful with New Mexico this year. Is that camera on?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure. My favorite March Madness sleeper of the tournament, JMU. We bet on them all year. 30-3. One of the best teams in the country, I believe. And by the way, you can get it any way you want from them.
Yeah.
This JMU team, if they get past this first round, is going to cause some problems. Because I think a lot of teams and a lot of people making brackets are going to sleep on how good this team is and look at that record and go, you know what? They probably played in a shitty conference. And I'll tell you what, this team is the real deal.
Does it scare? I feel like they're going to be one of the more popular upsets in the first round.
Well, I don't think Wisconsin is as good as Wisconsin is right now.
Yeah, they
and
weren't
I think
playing
JMU
very
matches
well up
up very well.
They definitely do. I'm just saying, does that scare you? That you know that they're going to be a public dog.
100%.
You know that, yeah.
That's one of the more public ones, I will say. That is one of the more public ones. My last two, I think one of them is also going to be very public. McNeese. This is one of the best scoring teams in the country. Yeah. They score at will. They play great defense. This team's going to cause some problems, and I can honestly see them going 2 or 3 rounds.
Yeah. Dude, that's my dog of the tournament.
I really do think they're going to be, unconscious backcourt. And I think they're just going to cause some problems for any team that they play.
Then they get to play, if they win, they get to play KU or Samford.
And by the way, Kansas is banged up.
Yeah.
Banged up.
I think their 2 guys are coming back.
I think McNeese will go minimum 3 rounds in the tournament. I really do think that they're going that deep. Like, this team is hard to stop.
Yeah.
This team is hard to play against, and this team has dismantled teams this year.
Yeah.
And have just looked good all year.
They are good.
So give me McNeese.
They just scream tournament team.
Scream tournament team. Scream.
Because they're one of those teams that you haven't really seen make a run yet.
No. My last one is one of our darlings. Be careful with what you do with this team, the Nevada Wolfpack. The Nevada Wolfpack. Keenan Blackshear is one of the best players in the country. I think any team that plays him is going to have trouble stopping him. And keep in mind, this is one of the best players in the Mountain West. And I have the Mountain West ranked very highly this year coming into the tournament with the teams that they have made. Utah State, another sleeper, but I don't know if I consider an 8-9 much of a sleeper.
Yeah.
Other than Michigan State, because I just think they're junk and a lot of people are going to kind of breeze by them. But again, you are getting very good Mountain West teams in spots where they will cause problems. A Nevada team that is ranked this low is going to cause problems in people's brackets and in people's books this year when they're betting.
They could.
Those are my March Madness sleepers.
I don't
Did I
mind
miss
that.
any?
I don't mind any of those, honestly.
Do you have any that I missed?
Dude, I think that whoever comes out of that UVA Colorado State game will win 2 games.
Really?
That's mine.
I'm not high on Colorado State. Obviously, I'm not high on UVA. I'm going to bet Colorado State to beat UVA. But I'm
They're
just not
playing
very-
Texas. If they win, whoever
I
wins
know.
plays Texas.
I
I think
know.
Texas is fraudulent.
I think Texas is so fraudulent. I think
And
TCU is
then-
fraudulent too. I think UVA is fraudulent.
And then Tennessee. And I'm a big Tennessee guy, but I think that they get beat early in this tournament.
I also think Tennessee gets beat early.
And I think Iowa State also.
I think I have Tennessee losing in the first round in my bracket.
St. Pete's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because
That would
like
be
that
cool.
team just plays so like I was listening to Krabs break it down. I was listening to Krabs break it down on the Book It bracket sweats that we had.
Mhm.
And then I started looking into St. Peter's and I kind of agree with them. This St. Peter's team takes you into the trenches and they make you get it the hard way. And this Tennessee is not a team that gets the hard way.
No, they are not.
They like to play a little pretty and St. Peter's likes to play dirty.
Yeah. That'll be a fun
Physical,
game.
bang you out. Like that's going to be a tough matchup for Tennessee.
Why didn't I hear you talk about the Akron Zips?
Because I think they're going to lose first round.
Creighton.
Yeah, like that's my national champion
Really?
in my gut check.
Okay.
Was the Creighton
Do we want to
team.
get to that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do the gut check. Mikey's gonna go through.
Dude, I'm just so high on that Creighton team. They can beat any way they want. Kalkbrenner, Shireman, Trey Alexander. Like they really,
Yeah.
you can get it any way you want with them.
They are good. Here we go.
All right.
Mikey's gonna go through.
I'm not going to have the bracket opened up.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I'll just tell you the teams. UConn, Stetson.
UConn. Everyone open up your bracket and click along with me.
Yeah.
Let's see
Yeah.
where you're at. Gut check. You can't think you're clicking.
All right. FAU, Northwestern.
FAU,
San Diego State, UAB.
San Diego State,
Auburn, Yale.
Auburn by a million.
BYU, Duquesne.
Duquesne,
Illinois, Morehead State.
Illinois,
Washington State, Drake.
Washington State. I don't see Drake getting the upset.
Iowa State, South Dakota State.
Iowa State, but I could see South Dakota State beating him.
Okay. Houston, Longwood.
Houston,
Houston. Nebraska, A&M.
Nebraska. Revenge spot. People might forget the Nebraska AD just left for the Texas A&M job.
That is a revenge
Clapback
spot.
season. Nebraska.
All right. Wisconsin, JMU.
JMU.
Duke, Vermont.
Duke, but I think it's going to be much closer than people think.
Texas Tech, NC State.
Texas Tech.
That's a really good game, by the
Yeah,
way.
really good.
Kentucky, Oakland. Kentucky.
Again, that's a game, not to derail quickly. That's a game where you're looking at a conference tournament winner that's playing about the best basketball they've played all year, going up against a team that has been up and down, but ended the year looking pretty solid. So you either take the red hot team or the team that's been kind of been playing the same way all year. Like that's a tough one. I
Yeah.
just think Texas Tech is a better team than NC State.
I can agree with that. Kentucky, Oakland. Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Yeah, they're the boys.
Yeah.
Florida.
Literally the boys.
Yeah. Florida or Boise State, Colorado.
So this is tough. If Boise State makes it, I feel like I would pick Boise State to get the upset against Florida. I don't think Florida's that good this year. I mean, you saw them get their shit rocked by Auburn. Like when they play a good team, they normally lose that game. I think they just caught Kentucky because they were just playing hot at the time. But I'll take Florida here because we don't know who's going to advance.
And then Marquette, Western Kentucky.
Marquette by a bajillion.
All right. UNC, Howard or Wagner.
UNC, but if it's Wagner, they're going to have a tough game.
Michigan State, Mississippi State,
Michigan State.
St. Mary's, Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon.
Okay.
That's my first upset.
Alabama, Charleston.
Alabama. That one's going to be ugly.
New Mexico, Clemson, New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Baylor, Colgate.
Baylor. But I'm not high on Baylor this year.
Dayton, Nevada.
Nevada.
Arizona, Long Beach State.
Arizona. That game's going to come down to the wire. I do think so.
Purdue or Montana State / Grambling.
I just want everyone to know.
Montana State.
If Montana
is
State makes that game, I'm picking Montana State. If Montana State puts away Grambling and we get a win going into the big dance, I'm taking our boys, Montana State. But we'll take Purdue for the sake we don't know. But
Utah,
I'm taking them on the spread,
Yeah,
just so
yeah,
everyone
yeah.
knows. And I'm going to sprinkle on that money line that game.
Utah State, TCU.
Utah State,
Okay. Gonzaga,
McNeese,
Kansas, Samford.
Sanford.
Wow.
If Kansas is banged up, I don't see them getting by a fully healthy Sanford. Either
South
way.
Carolina, Oregon.
The Cogs.
Yeah, we got to go with the boys. Creighton, Akron.
Creighton.
Texas, UVA, Colorado State.
Again, probably just give Texas the lean here because I don't know who they're actually playing.
Tennessee, St. Peter's.
St. Peter's.
Okay. We're on to round 2.
On to round 2.
UConn, FAU.
What is the chat saying? Are they bitching?
No, they're not bitching yet. Not yet.
No bitching.
No bitching yet.
No bitching. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
UConn, FAU.
Dude, I think UConn. Again, there is really 2 teams that are bar none, no debate. You can't even have a conversation about it that are better than every single team in this field, and it's UConn and Houston. Realistically, removing your brain that wants to go, oh, I want to try to find a non-trendy winner. This UConn team is probably the best chance to go back-to-back since that Florida team.
Yeah, probably.
The way they've constructed this roster and the guys they have, like, if you're being smart, I'm not going to pick them because I fucking hate UConn, but this team is probably going to go back-to-back.
you could
Like, this team is disgusting.
You could argue they're better this year, which I think they are.
I agree. I
Yeah.
think you could definitely have that argument.
All right, so we're taking
Tristan Newton
UConn?
they had
Yeah.
24, 6, and 4 at halftime
Yeah, they're
of the Big
disgusting.
East Championship.
So UConn?
Yeah, UConn.
San Diego State, Auburn. That's a good game.
That's going to be a really good game. I'm going to give Auburn the edge here.
Okay. Duquesne, Illinois.
Duquesne. I think here's my thing, though, with Illinois. If they get, obviously, other than Terrence Shannon dropping 40 balls, the only way that Illinois goes deep in this tournament is if Coleman Hawkins is going.
Yeah.
If you notice, when they're beating teams and they're beating teams bad, and they are the number 3 ranked Illinois that they are right now, it's when not only is Terrence Shannon doing what he's doing, and you know he's going to do it every game now, like he's an NBA lottery pick, consistent kind of guy, scoring the ball. You need Coleman Hawkins going. And he's a night-to-night guy. Like, he's not a guy that you rely on.
That's
But when
true.
he's going, they're unbeatable. Like, when he's going, they're unbeatable. So in this game, do I give the lean to Day Grant and Jimmy Clark? Yeah, probably.
Okay. Washington State, Iowa State.
2 teams I hate. Like, 2 teams I really am not high on. 2 teams I could give a rat's about. It depends on who gets going. Iowa State is the hotter team right now. I'll take Iowa State.
Okay. North Carolina, Michigan State.
Oh, I want to take Izzo and March.
Yeah, I know you do.
I just say, here's what I'll say about this. If we get to this game and you give Izzo a win in the dance and he gets these guys going, I'm still not that impressed with this UNC team. I know they're a 1 seed. I know they're high on a lot of people's boards, but just having watched them this year, like, I'm still not that impressed. Like, I think RJ Davis is shutdownable. And I think when your best player is shutdownable, it makes you really easy to beat in a team like March. And I feel like if you're playing Tom Izzo, that's really tough matchup for that UNC team. Give me Michigan State.
Okay.
Yeah, give me Michigan State.
Grand Canyon, Bama.
Bama. They run them out of the gym.
New Mexico.
Again, this is a team, though. Sorry, not to stop
Right,
every single
yeah,
time
yeah.
we're going, but this is how I think about it. This is a team where Alabama playing a team like Grand Canyon, not a team that's not an SEC team, I think are going to struggle to slow down teams like Alabama and Kentucky in this tournament because they play lightning fast. And when you're a mid-major and you get thrown in that pot that's as big as a Super Bowl and a team starts running on you, it's hard to slow it down no matter how good you are, no matter how much seniority you have. Like, if you're not used to this pace of play with the Kentucky and the Alabamas, with the way that they play this year, if you can't slow them down for 2 halves, you got to do it for 2. You might be able to slow them down for the first half, but they're playing the same way in the second. If you can't slow them down for 2 halves, it's wraps.
Yeah.
Like, this Alabama team can score 102 at will. Can Grand Canyon do that on their best night?
No.
I don't think so. So I'll take Alabama.
New Mexico, Baylor.
New Mexico. The Mountain West is going to run on teams like that.
Nevada, Arizona.
Dude, I want to take Nevada so bad because I think everyone and their mother thinks Arizona's fraudulent, but I think Arizona's a little better than everyone gives them credit for.
Okay.
So I'm going to take Arizona. But I would not be shocked. If that is a game, I'm taking Nevada on the spread.
Okay.
If that's a game.
Houston, Nebraska.
Oh, dude. Like, I want to take Nebraska, but Houston's just so good. Give me Houston.
JMU, Duke.
JMU.
Duke's first Duke.
Yeah. I also Duke is just not, like,
Yeah.
again, I'm not impressed with them at all.
Texas Tech, Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Florida, Marquette.
Marquette.
Purdue, Utah State.
Utah State. I think this is where it happens. I think
Okay.
this is where, again, Purdue's starting point guard is banged up. I don't know if anyone knows that.
I did not.
He
know
almost
that.
didn't play yesterday or on Saturday. He's a little banged up. Hopefully, you're hoping by the time they get to here, he's healthy, he's ready to go. But again, this is a Purdue team time and time again in the Big Ten tournament. Now we're seeing it in March again. They don't win big games.
Yeah.
They don't win big games. I don't care how good Zach Edey is. They can't win big games. And I think the Mountain West, again, you're getting teams and spots that are going to cause problems. A Utah State against Purdue should not be a matchup that Purdue gets in the second round, third round.
Fair enough.
Utah State.
McNeese, Samford.
McNeese. This is where I'm saying McNeese gets to
Yeah.
the third because I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
Stanford knocks off Kansas because Kansas is not fully healthy.
Yeah, that's fair.
If Kansas is fully healthy, obviously, you take Kansas to move, but we don't know if they're
Yeah.
fully healthy yet. So McNeese.
South Carolina, Creighton.
Creighton.
Texas,
Just tough
St.
matchup for our
Peter's.
boys, though.
Yeah,
You
it
know?
is. Texas, St. Peter's.
St. Peter's. I just don't trust Texas.
15. Okay.
I would just rather have Texas knocked out early. I don't even want to deal with them.
Okay.
In this gut check.
UConn, Auburn.
This is where UConn loses. I think Auburn.
Okay.
Johnny Broome is pretty much unguardable.
Yeah.
And I can't have UConn winning my gut check, so I'm going to go Auburn.
Crab said McNeese wagon.
Yeah, McNeese is a freaking wagon.
Duquesne, Iowa State.
Duquesne.
Okay.
I just, dude.
So, dude, we could see Duquesne potentially in the Elite Eight.
Yeah, we could see an Elite Eight Duquesne.
Auburn, Duquesne.
Yeah, Duquesne. No, I'm just kidding. But this is where I'm going to say, Josh. I've been following Day Grant all year on socials, and I bet on him almost every time he's played. I just feel like in March, if you're going to pick these upsets, you got to assume that your guys are being guys and that they're getting hot. If Jimmy Clark and Day Grant are hot, I don't care who they're playing. Guards in March. This is where you win tournaments in March with your guards.
Yeah.
You saw every team that won their conference tournament guard play. Terrence Shannon, 40 fucking ball on your head. Like, not that they won that tournament, but guards in March. It's guards in March.
Yeah. Houston, JMU.
Houston. But I really want to pick JMU.
Kentucky, Marquette.
Kentucky.
Michigan State, Alabama.
Alabama. I just think Izzo would struggle against this Alabama team. But I don't think this Alabama team is way worse than the Alabama team last year. And that Alabama team was so ranked way higher.
Yeah.
But I'll take Bama here. Dude, it's hard for me to pick against Kentucky and Bama because when you watch them play, you go, this team can score 200 points.
Against everyone, yeah.
Okay, 200 points if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
It's just hard for me to pick against them.
Yeah.
But
if they don't get slowed down, they're winning.
That's what I'm saying. And do you think Izzo can slow them down for two halves with that Michigan State team? I don't see it.
I don't think so. New Mexico, Arizona.
Dude, this is a drag them out, punch in the mouth. Who can last longer? And I think I'm going to give the edge to Caleb Love. He's been deep before in the tournament. I think he brings that experience to this Arizona team.
Okay. Utah State, McNeese.
Just for the bit, let's let McNeese keep running.
We got to let him.
Yeah, let him run.
Creighton, St. Peter's.
Creighton.
All right, we're down to the Elite Eight.
Who's my Elite Eight?
Your Elite Eight is Auburn, Duquesne, Houston, Kentucky, Bama, Zona, McNeese, Creighton.
Yeah, is that not only one Big 12 team?
Yeah, you're fine.
As it should be.
Yeah.
Like a shitty conference.
Auburn, Duquesne.
Auburn.
Houston, Kentucky. If there is a team
that could slow them down, it's Houston. And I could just see Rob Dillingham pulling from the logo, them not getting hot. Houston. Yeah.
McNeese, Creighton.
Creighton. This is where, so again, Josh, I have Creighton ranked very highly.
Yeah.
I just do not see a world in which any team matches up well against Creighton in this tournament, other than possibly a Houston.
Okay.
This team, when I say you can get it any way you want, you can really get it any way you want. And you got to remember, when you look at these Creighton losses, right? A loss to UConn, that's a number 1 seed in the whole tournament. A loss to Marquette, that's a number 2 seed in the whole tournament. And then you start going down to the Big East, you go, okay, first of all, Seton Hall, a team that should have made it, 5 games over 500. Providence, a team that should have made it. I really do think the Big East is the best basketball conference in the country. You're pretty much walking into the March Madness as a Big East team injured mentally because you're battling every fucking night. There's not an easy game in the Big East.
Yeah.
Whether it's other than DePaul, that team's fucking
Yeah.
junk. And Georgetown, you pretty much got to, get the engines going against them. But when that top half of the Big East, you're beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Like that's why I think UConn could roll again. Because like if you're the number one in the Big East, that's why you see like back in the day UConn winning when they were in the Big East. Like teams in the Big East, like it's built a little different.
Fair enough. Alabama, Arizona.
I think this is where
Two
teams that could play fast.
Yeah.
You
But
take the
Arizona's
over.
defense is a lot better.
A lot better
than Bama's.
I'd probably go Arizona if I got them this far.
Yeah, they're
Caleb Love's probably averaging 25 a game. Banging.
your Final Four. Auburn, Arizona, Houston, Creighton. Who do you
Is
take?
that not possible?
No, it's definitely possible. Auburn or Arizona.
Auburn.
Yeah, I assume that. Houston, Creighton.
This is so tough for me, dude. This is so tough. You want to know what just happened in my brain? Gut check. I think Auburn might win the national championship.
Yeah, okay.
I
Dude,
do.
I think that's what
Like
the
that Auburn-
BTL guys had too.
Like that Auburn team is. I haven't seen what they. I didn't
I
see
think
what
they put
had.
together and had Auburn winning it all too.
I'm gonna go. I'm just so high on Houston.
Same.
So high on
They're my
Houston.
winner.
But Creighton is just like my little wag. I love their depth.
Yeah.
I love Trey Alexander. I think he's a guard in March if he gets hot. Fucking raps. Give me Creighton.
Okay. And then Auburn, Creighton. Creighton.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's my national champion.
There it is.
That's my national champion. I don't know. I just do that. This Creighton team, I think, is coming in very underrated. I don't think a lot of teams are going to talk about them. I don't think a lot of people are going to pick them. And just on a gut check, that path, I think we made it a little bit easier because there were some upsets early on that might not happen in terms of like a Texas. Like Disu and Kalkbrenner, that's a tough matchup for Creighton.
Yeah.
Like that's one where I might be like, okay, this Texas team, if they get a Creighton team, could get really tough for Creighton, just matchup wise. But if that doesn't happen, like I could see a path where Creighton rolls to the Final Four pretty easily. But that Auburn team's fucking good.
Dude, Houston, in my opinion, just
like so much better than everyone.
But dude, I just don't like. I'm looking at their side. Like, I don't think that there's a single team that can play with them.
I agree.
Like,
especially
I think that they're
the way they're playing right now.
I think they're like auto Elite Eight at least, in my opinion.
And I think too that game against Iowa State, just a hiccup.
Yeah,
that's just a hiccup.
Yeah.
That's not like a one where
it's
you go,
almost
they're coming
better.
in
It's
tournament
almost
cold.
better. Like that they lost that game.
Get it out of the
now
way.
they're coming in mad. Like,
get it out of the way.
They're gonna go in there and beat the shit out of Longwood.
Yeah,
like Longwood might lose by 50.
Give me Houston over. Yeah, give me Houston over Creighton and then Houston, my national champion.
Okay, you're gonna switch it up.
Yeah, that feels better.
Okay, there it is.
But that's okay. Sometimes you got to talk through. You know, sometimes
yeah.
you just got to talk through it a little bit. That's why I feel like I'll take Houston as my national champion. It's probably so square, whatever you want to say. I don't give a fuck. But like again, there are just certain teams. I also have UConn getting beat by Auburn. If Auburn can beat UConn, that's a team that's now playing like, dude, we just David Goliath right there.
Yeah.
Like we are destined to win, right? Like if you knock off a UConn or a team that knocks off Houston early, like you start feeling yourself.
For sure.
So that's also tough. You got to think about momentum coming into games. You know, there's a whole slew. I also think looking at my bracket, who do you think I have going too far? And don't say Duquesne.
No, I don't think it's Duquesne. I think it's Michigan State.
I thought you were going to say Arizona.
I think, there's two teams I think you have going too far. Michigan State, I think, loses in the first round. I also think Utah State loses in the first round. I think TCU knocks them off in the first round.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I'm just so high on the Mountain West.
No, I know.
I really do think
I like the Mountain West too.
So good.
I just don't think Utah State's very good.
We're going to go over tomorrow's games tomorrow. So that's Howard Wagner. That's Colorado State, Virginia. I got both those bets. We're also going to go over Montana State, Grambling on Wednesday, Colorado State, Boise State on Wednesday, or are we traveling on Wednesday?
We're traveling Wednesday night. We'll be here.
Wednesday night. So we'll be here for Wednesday. My 4 best bets of the first round. My 4 best bets of the first round that I will have units on in Vegas. I'll have physical tickets in Vegas, not on a book, which, by the way, I had to Venmo my bookie this week. Except yesterday, got it almost back to a reasonable amount.
Okay.
Because I clean swept. Don't know if anyone saw that. Clean swept, Josh. Duquesne, Illinois. Who's my other one? Who played yesterday? Duquesne, Illinois, Auburn. That was my clean sweep yesterday. Duquesne plus 9.5 against BYU. Again, I got him going almost to the Elite Eight, Sweet 16. This Duquesne team, I am just banking on Day Grant, Jimmy Clark starting fast and starting hot, and BYU's backcourt I'm not that impressed with. And BYU is a team that lives and dies by the three. I hate betting on those teams in March. If BYU is clipping, Duquesne's going to lose by 15, 20 plus. If they're not, Duquesne probably wins outright because it's going to be a close, gritty game, and I give those to the mid-majors every time. Duquesne plus 9.5 is one of my best bets. My next best bet. Josh, do you think you can bet it or guess it if you're looking at the board?
It's on Thursday.
It's on Thursday.
Let me look. Well, I mean, yeah, probably. McNeese plus 6.5.
Yeah, McNeese plus 6.5 is another best bet that I'm going to have on Thursday. Listen, I was actually really high on Gonzaga coming into the year, ending out the year as well. I remember we cashed Gonzaga in some spots where other people were on the other side. I feel like in the community and public, and we were kind of getting sharp on Gonzaga. This is just a tough matchup.
It is.
Like, I really do think if you gave me Gonzaga against any other team, I'd have Gonzaga going pretty fucking deep in my bracket, to be honest with you. Like, I think Nembhard is very, very, very good. I think Watson is very, very, very good. I think Ike is very, very good. I think they're just getting put up against a mid-major that's going to cause a lot of problems for them.
They are.
And Gonzaga is a team that they remind me of Georgetown a little bit. It seems as though when they get down and the game gets a little tough and they don't come out scorching hot, you kind of lose them a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just feel like you're going to come up against a mid-major that's ready to punch you in the mouth.
I feel like all their players aren't consistent too. Like Graham Ike gets in foul trouble every other game. Like you might get 20 minutes out of him. You never really know. You never really know.
And McNeese 6.5 points. Even if McNeese loses that game and busts my bracket a little bit, 6.5 points is a lot of points for a matchup like that, I think. My next best bet. I'll stay on Thursday. I'll give you 3 on Thursday, and then I'll give you 1 on Friday because we're going to see how it happens. It'd be a parlay. Michigan State money line, and the other shortest money line on the board, South Carolina. Michigan State, South Carolina money lines. I know they're the close favorites. Again, the Cox need their respect. I think Mississippi State is a perfect team. It's a little overrated coming in. I think South Carolina is a little underrated coming in after the way that they lost in the SEC tournament. And I think you're getting the Cox in a good spot here. Close favorite. You don't have to eat any points. You take their money line. They get it done. On the other side, Michigan State, it's Tom Izzo in March. I just don't see a world in which they don't knock off an overrated Mississippi State. And Oregon, again, I'm not high on Oregon. I think the Pac-12 was pretty mid this year, and I really do think that these Pac-12 teams are going to struggle other than Arizona. And I think Oregon is one where you're catching a battle-tested South Carolina. That, by the way, we've seen win on the road. We've seen win at home. We've seen cover dog spreads. We've seen win outright with dog spreads. You're getting a battle-tested South Carolina against a weak Oregon in the Pac-12.
Yeah.
Battle-tested USC every time. So I think that's where I'm looking at for my best bets on Thursday. A Friday best bet. I think you could guess this one, Josh, just because I feel like we spent so much time together talking about bets. But I want to see what you say, because I got 2 on Friday that I love so far. I'm going to be betting the whole board all weekend.
Yeah.
But I got 2 that I love so far.
I think I can probably tell you both of them.
Yeah.
Grand Canyon and JMU.
JMU is one. New Mexico is the other.
New Mexico.
JMU plus 5.5. That's just a lot of points, dude. I don't even care if they get through. They're one of my upset teams. I might, when I'm in Vegas, have a couple Vegas bombs and leave the points at the door, JMU. But New Mexico, I mean, dude, I haven't been high on Clemson all year.
Yeah, I mean,
PJ Hall, that kid doesn't really impress me that much. Like, this Clemson team is just unimpressive to me. I think the whole ACC outside of North Carolina is unimpressive to me, to be honest with you. So give me New Mexico as a short favorite, especially when you look at the seeding. The fact that New Mexico is the favorite, that should tell you something that Vegas knows, right?
For sure.
And JMU plus 5.5 is another one. So those are my best bets so far. So far. We haven't even touched down in Vegas yet, but those are the games that I'm definitely going to be earmarking that I'm going to drop more than 1 unit on, right?
Yeah.
Those are my best bets. Do you have any? Have you looked at the board? I love a Josh best bet. Because I feel like you're not afraid to be like, give me Houston minus 24.
It's so gross. No, it's actually taking a dog of the points, but South Dakota State plus 15 or 16.5. I don't think that Iowa State can score enough points to cover that. That's literally the only way I'm looking at it. Like, I don't see them scoring enough to even cover 16.5.
That's a good point. But do you think that South Dakota State can score enough to even keep it in
there?
That's if Iowa State doesn't score enough.
You know what I mean? I don't know. But, but I'm going to ride with that. I just love taking big plus chicky dogs. I'll probably take their money line too for a little spring.
Yeah. What do you think about, so if we're talking big plus chicky dogs, Do you think there's any 1 seeds you'd fade? Like a Longwood plus 24.5?
I think if I were to fade
A Stetson
one,
plus
I think
26.5?
the weakest 1 seed is North Carolina. I think
Okay.
they would be the one to fade because Purdue. I just don't see Purdue going out twice in a row.
In the first
Like
round.
in the first round, like that's
Okay,
not
yeah,
happening.
yeah.
I don't see that happening. I think
What if it's
UConn
our
and
little
Houston pretty much
wag?
just Houston and UConn just
What
walk
if
through
it's our
those two.
little wag, Montana State against Purdue?
Yeah, I guess if it is Montana State, maybe I will definitely be on that game if it's Montana State.
Dude, I feel like we'd have to.
Yeah,
I also think it's
necessary.
interesting. Sanford's not even a double-digit dog, dude.
Yeah. Do you know what I do love?
I think Sanford's one that's going to sneak under some radars that upsets Kansas if they're not
could.
fully healthy.
They could. Another one that I love is the Arizona Long Beach State over 161.5.
Wow. See, that's a Josh bet.
Yeah, I love
That's
that.
a Josh bet that I'm not even radaring and that I'm now going to have to put a unit on because that is a Josh bet.
Yeah, Long Beach State's playing for their coach. Is he still there? Do we know?
I don't know.
Because they said they were firing him after the conference tournament, but then they won the conference tournament. So I don't even know if he's still there. But I think regardless, even if they don't have him, they're still playing for him, I think.
The McNeese Gonzaga over is a good look too.
Yeah, I like
we
that.
didn't even talk about overs, Josh.
No, I know.
Like that's
He's
a
there,
great point.
He's still coaching.
161. Do we have it? It's already locked for the tournament yet?
Oh, I'm sure
it might be that one.
It's definitely.
It might be that one, dude.
Oakland, Kentucky's higher.
Oh wow, 163.
Yeah.
What do you think about?
Oh my God, Bama Charleston 174.
Jesus Christ.
That's definitely it.
I'm not shocked though.
No,
that Bama and Kentucky are the two that are the highest overs on the board.
Bama and Charleston. That'd be a fun over.
So what are your opinions on this? I know there's some people that think oppositely. I know there's some people that think in the same vein. For people that are going to be betting in March, what are your thoughts on high totals and high spreads? Because normally you want a high total with a close spread.
Yeah.
Like a plus 2.5 with a 161. You can feel pretty comfortable taking that over because Vegas is telling you this game is going to be close and there's going to be a lot of points. So you're probably going to get that over. Yeah. What is your take on high totals, high spreads? Kentucky's minus 13.5 with a 163 spread, with a 163 over.
Yeah, I think that it kind of just depends on the team that's playing. Like Kentucky's a team where like that they're going to give up points regardless, right?
Yeah,
like they're giving up 75 no matter what.
100%.
I think it's more just what you get from them in this situation. Like I think they're going to put up 100 points, to be honest.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because it's going to be hard for Oakland to slow
down. I feel
like
in general, though, I would take the under with a huge spread. But also in this situation, I think maybe, honestly, I don't hate the Bama under. Like, I know that's already locked, but I don't hate that. Like, that's a shit ton of points.
That's a ton of points, dude.
And Charleston's kind of gritty. Like, I mean, obviously, they play really fast.
We saw Alabama cover a 174 in the tournament, though.
Yeah. I just think it's a lot. And, like, the problem with, like, totals that are that high is you can literally go 1 minute without scoring, a minute and a half without scoring, and it's done.
Chalked.
Like literally done.
Chalked, yeah.
So
you need the runs to last like 5 minutes.
Yeah, and also Scotty Scheffler won again this weekend. So I just gave you guys. I mean, obviously, I know it's chalk. Like I gave you the best player in the world, but he was plus 650 both times.
Who's not picking that?
No, I know. Yeah, I mean,
come on.
2 in a row.
I will say this. I was just thinking about this as well, Josh, while we were talking. We took Oakland, Milwaukee overs all the time in that conference.
Yeah.
Teams where we've already been taking the overs, playing teams that are better than that play fast. Kentucky minus 13.5 might be a max bet.
It could be.
Because you're playing a team that commits to playing fast and doesn't want to slow the tempo against a team that strictly runs you out of the gym. Kentucky might beat them by 30 if that's how they want to play. Because that's how Oakland and Milwaukee played. We took their overs all year. That's how those teams played all year. Points. Yeah. Hopefully I score more.
Yeah.
If you're going to commit to playing like that against a Kentucky, you're going to get your shit run.
Dude, I think that's what I was saying. Like I like Kentucky to cover,
might be
and I also like the over in that game. Like I think Kentucky puts up 100 points.
But I'm saying like the conversation of big spreads and that over under, knowing what we know about a team like Oakland, Kentucky's going to run their ass if they want to play fast.
Yeah.
And that's how they played all year. Oakland's not going to come in and be like, all right, listen, we're doing half court sets. We're bleeding clock.
Yeah.
We're stopping you. Like we're making you run half court sets. We're making you bleed clock. Like Oakland comes into the game wanting to run. That's how they played all year.
Yeah.
Like very Kentucky minus 13.5 might have just been upgraded to a best bet. Because if you want to run with Kentucky, you're going to get your shit run.
For sure. Yeah. And that over, dude, I don't know.
And I don't know.
I
and
mean,
I'll be honest.
I think that they might win that game by 30.
Nevada's also pick them against fucking Dayton. Nevada, like, is
They're
gonna
winning that
smoke
game,
their
man.
shit.
Dayton's overrated, in my opinion.
So overrated. But again, even looking at that Alabama spread, 9.5 points, I don't know how Charleston plays. So I don't know if I'm like, I need to
They're
look into
fast.
Charleston. If Charleston plays fast, again,
They
take
play
the two
fast.
teams that are quicker, Kentucky minus 13.5, Alabama minus 9.5. If you commit to playing fast against teams that are better than you at what you're good at, you're going to get run.
Yeah.
And Alabama and Kentucky are teams that will fucking run you if you play fast. Like if you're playing Alabama, you need to be almost getting 8-second violations, bringing the ball up.
Yeah.
You need to be running half court sets that bleed 20 to 25 seconds off the clock. Like you cannot, and one time, run a full court set where it's speed up, high screen pick. Like if you do that, Alabama and Kentucky will fucking run you all day.
Yeah.
Because that's all they do. So Charleston and Oakland, if you know they like to play fast, just know Alabama and Kentucky are the two best teams at playing fast in the country.
Yeah, like by far.
So maybe 9.5, 13.5, you're okay with taking that many points? Because by the way, they might score 115, and I don't know if Charleston and Oakland can even keep up.
Yeah, that's, dude. I think that, do we take Alabama minus 9.5, the over in that game, and then Kentucky with the points and the over in that game?
Yeah, I love that. I love both those.
That'd be a fun little sweat.
If you give me team totals on Kentucky and Alabama, and both these teams play fast against them, I will nuke their
Let's just
team
do that.
totals.
Let's just do that.
Alabama team
Just a
total,
team
Kentucky
total.
team
Yeah,
total.
yeah.
Yeah,
Let's do
that's
that.
cheese. That's literally cheddar. Do you like anything else? I was thinking about this. We'll go through the NBA slate quickly. Not that I know what I'm talking about at all,
Yeah.
but just to give you guys some plays on a Monday. I do think it is interesting. The most dangerous spreads in basketball are 5.5 points. JMU is plus 5.5, and Grand Canyon is plus 5.5. So be very careful with St. Mary's and Gonzaga tickets, that or Wisconsin and St. Mary's tickets.
I think I have another play for you.
What's your other play, Josh?
Dude, so you're
Nebraska.
No, you're Auburn Tigers.
You think they run Yale out of the gym?
I think Yale is live money line.
No, dude. We have a saying around these parts.
I think Yale is
It's
live.
called
on the
they
money
bang
line.
books, not buckets. An Ivy League team doesn't knock off an SEC team.
Well, they did last year.
And that's
Princeton
why
knocked off Mizzou last year.
That's why I had to wear a dress.
Yeah,
Because Princeton made it to the fucking Sweet 16.
no, dude. I think Yale is live. I mean, I'm gonna take their spread, obviously, but I think that they can win that game. I think the Ivy League just always so fucking gritty.
Oh, God
They're
damn it,
always so
Josh.
gritty.
You could literally
And I
talk
feel
me
like
into
Auburn
anything.
might be
that's the
walking in
crazy
like
part.
fat, happy, and complacent. Like, oh, we got Yale first round, like walkover game. I think Yale's gonna show up,
Like, why does that feel so good?
and everyone is in love with Auburn. That's like that was the one game, and like you look at it, you're like, oh, there's no chance Yale wins that game, right?
No chance.
No chance.
Like,
Cool.
not even a thought in my brain.
Yeah.
Like, when you said Auburn, I was like, Auburn. Like, no, I don't even think you got Yale out.
Yeah.
I also picked in my bracket a plus 2,000 winner in St. Peter's. That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's
I don't hate
nuts.
that though. You got him losing this. Actually, no, you have him winning in the second round too.
I do have them winning in the second round. If they get missed,
Yeah.
that gut check bracket is
Yeah.
dead. I also will say, I think it's interesting that over is so high in Arizona Long Beach State when it's 20-point spread. Like, that's a really big spread.
Yeah, that is.
I think and here's the thing, I think a lot of teams are going to cover dog spreads in March. Like, I really do. If it's not really close, like, dude, I can even see Akron covering 12 against Creighton. That's just a lot of points
Yeah.
for an Akron team that's big inside and gritty.
Yeah.
If
Max
Kalkbrenner's
scores
not
nice.
blocking one shot every couple possessions and doesn't end the game with 6-7 blocks, Akron plays inside and they play dirty. Like, 12 points, you're slowing the game down. Although that is Big East basketball, so Creighton might be like, you're just stepping in our territory. Like, we'll bang you down low and then kick it out, and Trey Alexander will put 4 in your face. So I don't know. I just think I'd be careful betting big favorites in March, because I don't think the better teams in March this year, there's that big of a margin between the lower seeds, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes complete sense, but
Everyone in chat's saying Auburn's like auto.
wow. A Yale live money line might be the take of the year.
I'm sure
on
they're
TMA. All right. Well, we end every show with a little bit of inspiration, a little motivation. You can stay right here. We got BTL boys coming up next. Krabs and Javon, I'm sure they're going to go through all of March Madness. They're going to go through the whole NBA board, the whole NHL board. I think there's only 2 NHL games, but they're going to go through everything. So make sure you stay right here. You get the TMA takes, then you go to the BTL takes, then you make your own. Don't be afraid to make your own and pick your own stuff. But here's what I wanted to do. We end every episode with a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of motivation. And I screenshotted something off TikTok the other day. and I kind of wanted to read it out loud. It's from a controversial person. Wouldn't be my favorite person if we were picking people in all of Earth. Wouldn't be my favorite. Shia LaBeouf. He's got a very, 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 very interesting past. Grew up pretty hard. Did some terrible things a couple years ago, but I think he said something really important in a podcast that I listened to a couple days ago. He's just a great speaker now. He's a very odd guy, but I think he's a great speaker. And it was basically about what growing and learning is as an adult. And I think he said something that that I just wanted to read for you guys. Learning is me giving up on my old shit, my old ideas, those ideas that have to die for me to be open to some new shit. And so me learning how to be a better man, I had to die a little bit. And I think, what he's saying in that, and I think something that, my brother has talked to me about too, is when you're growing up and you're becoming an adult, you want to be a pot, right? And you want to make sure you're constantly putting water on your clay pot that you're molding as you get older, right? I think what happens too much is we get to an age where we let that clay solidify and harden, and you can't move it anymore because you stop putting water on the clay. I think as a human now, especially in this generation, and as far as we've come as a society, I think it's important to keep putting water on your clay, right? And I think even when you want to look at it, if you want to remove, the social, financial, whatever it is, even looking at it from a betting perspective, you don't want to get caught in your old ways, the way you look at games and your old ways, the teams that you fall in love with. I think throughout your life and throughout whatever you're doing, it's important to constantly keep putting water on your clay and molding it and not letting it solidify too early. And I think that's what happens. You get older and you think about your grandparents or that weird uncle. You're like, dude, it's just simple that this is right and that's wrong, but they stop putting water on their clay and that shit's hard. And once it's hard, you can't put water back on it and start molding it again. Right. So I think it's important that to learn, we're putting water on the clay, and to learn, we're open to new ideas. We're not so caught in the old ideas and everything that we've learned. We're open to throwing water and learning a little bit. Even in your relationships too, I think it's important too, to keep putting water on the clay. So let's go have a Monday. You made it to Monday. We live for Mondays around these parts. So go have a week for the rest of your life. Start the week hot is the only way to end the week hot. Good morning, good afternoon, good night from the morning after. We'll be here tomorrow morning. I hope you have a great day. Stay right here. We got BTL coming up next. Love you guys.